Hey, this is Dee Hutchins, and I'd like to welcome you to this very short video, and obviously very excited that you're taking a look at improving your health. I'm a former college and high school basketball coach, a former college and high school history teacher and professor, and over a decade ago I was introduced to some information that really changed my life forever. It started me on a path of asking questions of how do I really take care of myself and my family. It initially started with looking at some nutritional food, but I started asking questions about water, sleep, and exercise as well, along with nutrition, and I found out sadly that I didn't know what I was doing. Which means as a middle-aged man, educated, interested in the subject, I didn't know how to take care of myself properly. So let's go in very quickly. I want to share some information with you that I've learned that can certainly help you. And what I like about this information is really not debatable. It's things that we're all supposed to be doing. We just simply many times don't know what to do. We'll start with water. There's not an exact amount you need to drink every day, but there's a general consensus on water. I always use the Mayo Clinic as an example. It's a research hospital. The Mayo Clinic recommends 9 to 13 cups a day. 9 is a starting point for a female. 9 times 8 ounces is 72 ounces. That's a lot of water. Most Americans are grossly underhydrated. You might say, well, gosh, I didn't know we were supposed to drink that much water. I played sports my whole life. I didn't know I was supposed to do that either. Had no idea. The area of the country you live in, your activity level, if you're male, that amount can go up. So me personally, I try to drink at least 80 ounces a day. You might say, well, gosh, what's the big deal about water? Well, there's 3 issues that pop up when you don't drink enough water. You don't hydrate properly. Headaches, fatigue, and muscle soreness. I don't want to deal with any of those. So again, hydration, very important. Let's move to sleep. The consensus on sleep is much more exact. 7 to 8, 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep. I hear people all the time say, gosh, I've always just gotten by on 5, 5.5. Well, gotten by is a key to that statement. We don't want to get by, we want to get the most out of our bodies. And so to do that, we have to sleep properly. Let's say right now you're getting 5.5 hours of sleep. That's called chronic lack of sleep. Chronic lack of sleep means you're more prone to heart attack, heart disease, heart failure, stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes, ages your skin, kills your sex drive, can make you function as though you're inebriated. Yeah, like you're inebriated. You're just not all yourself. There's too many people wandering around out here that simply don't feel good, and they're not themselves. They're 60, 70% who they really are because they simply don't get a good night's sleep. And some have been doing it for so long, so many years, they don't know what feeling good feels like. It also can cause anxiety and depression. It also is a factor in weight. Yeah, sleep and weight equate. So sleeping is very important. So again, 7 to 8, 7 to 9 hours as an adult of uninterrupted sleep. I remember growing up, my parents, my coaches, nobody ever taught me what a good night's sleep is supposed to look like. Nobody ever sat me down and told me what kind of hydration I should be consuming every day, how much water I should be drinking every day. Didn't know those things. We all just kind of figure them out on our own. Let's move to exercise. This is something I didn't think I needed any help with. I knew what exercise was. I was an active person. But in general, there's some requirements, some minimums we're supposed to do every week to get the most out of the body that God gave us. We're supposed to walk around 4 miles a day. What does this do? It lowers your blood pressure, keeps your blood sugar from spiking after meals. That's really a foundation for us, walking. We're supposed to do at least 90 minutes a week of vigorous cardio. What does this do? That strengthens our heart. It can be any type of activity, but get your heart rate up and keep it up, maybe 3 times a week for at least 30 minutes. And lastly, we're supposed to do at least 30 minutes. Again, these are the minimums. At least 30 minutes of resistance training. This is something that's misunderstood by a lot of people. It could be push-ups. It could be yoga. It could be bands. It could be light weights. Anything that causes resistance. What does this do? It builds up bone density. Way too many people are dealing with osteoporosis unnecessarily because they simply have not done resistance training on a regular basis. So water, sleep, exercise, and again, I just gave you the minimum efforts you got to make every week. And by the way, less than 15% of people in this country meet the minimum for exercise every week. We're failing people. This ought to be talked about on the news every night. Let's move lastly to nutrition. Nutrition is the toughest in my opinion because it requires a serious investment of money and effort on your part to know what to buy and how to prepare it. In fact, the first 3, water, sleep, and exercise, are basically free. Nutrition's not. Okay? And so many people struggle with what to do for their family nutritionally. In fact, most people don't even have a clue how to provide their bodies with the nutrients that they need with which to function properly. In fact, most people in this country, we live to eat instead of eating to live. Completely different philosophies. When you eat to live, that means you go out and you ascertain the nutrition that your body needs with which to function properly. My family discovered this over a decade ago. A student gave this to me. He was a chiropractor in Atlanta, Georgia. And he shared, he said, this is a food I've been using. He said, if you review it, you want your family to use it. I want you to know that this is a godsend for people. This is the moringa tree, the most nutrient-rich plant on earth, being given to us in the form of a food. It's the leaves and the seeds and the fruit of moringa. So for my family nutritionally, over a decade, we've used this to help answer the question of nutrition. Are we giving our bodies what we need to function properly? Now, even though you're using this, which I highly recommend, you still have to make sure you're drinking water, you're sleeping correctly, you're exercising. We're about teaching people how to take care of themselves properly. We're about educating people on proper health methods. And I want to encourage you. I'm open, I'm available to talk to you. If you have questions, please get with the person that invited you to this overview. And I'd love to get with you and talk to you and answer more in detail what this can do for you. Thank you.